February 25th, 2017. I'm at my favorite bar again. This time I'm with Justin Kramer. Justin will soon cast off the change of retail life and open his own repair garage. And we're listening to fans in the bar talk. One of the guys says, "Patriot fans are in the hilt," whatever that meant. He was a Silver Fox man with a barely visible Richard Branson build. He was talking loudly in a hoarse voice from one end of the bar to the other end of the bar, and he was making up jokes and laughing at his own jokes. And he said over and over again, "Seriously, ha 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 ha, seriously, ha ha ha, seriously," in another cascade of laughter. And then he says, "Do you remember Jeff Broddle? He played golf in the league, and I caddied for his kid. Can I buy you another? Ginger beer. What control you have. Ha 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 ha." February 2nd, 2017. 11:10 p.m., my apartment, or home base, or whatever I'm calling this bunker from which I assemble this poop car poop show. I did nothing human-related today. I didn't interact socially with other humans very well at all. From 9 a.m. until 2:30 p.m., I edited RCR. I wanted to go somewhere and hang out, but I stayed put. Internet, video games, porn, video games. Uh-oh, the sun is going down. Just leave and do something. Don't change out of one set of pajamas, shower, and put on a second set of pajamas. So I went to the gym and ran on the treadmill. This was the 8th consecutive day I've been at the gym just running on the mill. A blister formed on one of my left toes from running so much, but I like running. This isn't my joke. It's either John Valby's or the late Bill the Fox Foster, and I told it online to Juliet on Twitter. "Did you hear of the villain most feared? He tied up a damsel and leered, but he tied her up wrong ways, not crossways but long ways, and a 40-car train disappeared." Juliet didn't get it right away, and I thought that maybe Kiwis are so nice they don't go around telling dirty limericks. I told Power Plant Joe at the gym the same limerick, and he said, "You told that to a girl?" And then I said, "Yeah, that does sound weird, yeah. Now that you say that, yeah, that sounds weird." "Yeah," Joe said. "Well, I'll talk to you later." My social skills are weakening again. Hanging out with RCR fans, as elevating as it feels, is social interaction with Game Genie enabled. I can't lose. My jokes land and people automatically like me. It's cheating. That's not to say I avoid talking to fans. It just means the conversation feels paper thin to me. I remember more than once noticing other people's hands tremble when I talk to them. I wanted to tell them all the dumb stuff I did so they would feel normal. March 1st, 9:44 p.m., 2017, my apartment. Mike Regensberger gave me a used desk radio that used to sit in KUR's lobby. It's a Jensen. What's unique about it is that it has a digital tuner that moves in hundredths of wavelengths, or whatever the measure for the frequency is. For instance, right now it's tuned to 99.1 FM. That's the jazz station. That's the jazz station's assigned frequency. But radio signals aren't precise enough to broadcast on only one frequency. The jazz station, WRTI, that signal spreads from 99.0 FM to 99.15 FM. and it's strongest at 99.1 FM. So that's why your car radio only tunes in tenths. Friday, March 3rd, 8:18 p.m., my apartment. My legs hurt. You know the muscles that feel like they go from the inside of your leg to your groin? Those are all tight right now. I mean, they always have been, but tonight's worse because I was at kickboxing class. And when I try to kick hard and kick high, they hurt. And I was the only person in kickboxing class tonight, and that means I get all the attention. Individualized attention. That means the instructor, Dante, and me get to work on my worst skill, which is kicking. He says to open my legs more, to step into it, step across, pop your hips, get closer, pretend like you're chopping down a tree. Don't kick, throw your hips. Your leg is just supposed to come along for the ride. And all that attention and instruction is for me. What a value. All the attention just for me. Gwen and Dave aren't here. Jared's not here. What's-her-name's not here. What's-her-other name isn't here. She hasn't been there for a while. Nope, just me tonight. No one to hide behind. So I try to open my hips, and whatever those groin muscles are, cry for uncle. March 6, 2017, Scranton, Pennsylvania, Hilton Hotel, 9:11 p.m. I'm eating the remains of someone else's room service. You've thought about it. I'm doing it. That's the difference between you and me. What am I worried about? I got an immune system. Score! More on the 7th floor. I legitimately did this. I had nothing to do, so I walked up, down every hall in this hotel and looked for room service trays outside doors and ate what was on it. A bit of bun and chicken sandwich. I lift the lid and find the remains of a salad, handfuls of romaine lettuce, face, cherry tomatoes, pop, 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 pickle slice. I look straight at the security camera. What? 10:33 p.m., in my hotel room, sleeping pill kicking in. Chamomile tea from the in-room coffee maker with half and half in those little cups. I'm here in Scranton because I got selected for jury duty, but this is just jury selection, not the actual case. They're just having us fill out a big questionnaire. And this isn't some local dime bag jury duty. No. This is federal court. Federal court. You got to fuck your way up to this level. So I'm reading the other previous opinions about other cases that got, went through the federal building here in Scranton. One of them was about an older man's subdermal medication machine. Look at one of those little machines that's under your skin that's supposed to, at specific times, just medicate you automatically. Well, this one, something broke on it, and all the medication went in. Dude fell into a coma, and now they're suing the company that makes these things. And what was the opinion of the judge? Yeah, I think the judge says, yeah, this is kind of your fault. You got to pay for those medical bills that you put this guy through. Another opinion was on a solitary confinement case. This one guy had been locked up in solitary confinement for 20 years. Now, what he did was he tried to escape twice, and they found 2 zip guns on him. So he was put in solitary for 20 years, but he was arguing that this is cruel and unusual and trying to get out. And the judge agreed with him. His opinion was that, look, you need to be able to talk to someone other than your lawyer. Because he didn't do anything violent, so it was the judge's opinion that, yeah, you get to go back to General Pop after 20 years in solitary. The last one I read was, this is a humdinger. A cop and a soldier want their psychological records erased because they want to be able to own handguns. But both of these people, both this police officer and this veteran spent time in a nut house. So, and unwillingly too, they were forced into medical or psychological treatment because during their youth, they were crazy, suicidal, and kind of violent. Now, they're grown men now. One's a police officer, and the one has been honorably discharged from the service. So they're making the argument that they're good people now, and they should be allowed to carry. And the judge's opinion, I didn't understand the legal language, but what I think it didn't seem like he took an aside. I think he kind of just kicked this case down the road and they're going to have to hear it again or something like that. From what I read on that case, it was ongoing. Right, so stuff that goes on at federal court is definitely law and order things. They're like, you got to consider both sides of this stuff. So I'm really interested. So now it's the next day, 8:30 a.m., Scranton, Pennsylvania, the Honorable William J. I Am the Law Nelson Federal Building for the Middle District of Pennsylvania. Jury waiting room. This room looks like a large carpeted classroom. The carpet is a high-traffic, tight weave with a blue swirl pattern. A large, sleek television is tuned to network news. 5 rows of school cafeteria tables provide jurors places to text. Everyone sits facing the TV. I sit facing the jury pool. A man in a sports fleeced vest talks on his phone, asking whoever is on the other end, Did Jerry get the truck and ash yet? A lady sits across from me. She fans herself with her hands and opens a paperback book full of word search puzzles. Word searches, the same bullshit busy work a substitute teacher assigns to a 7th grade class when the regular teacher forgets to leave subnotes. I'm looking at everybody else in the jury pool here. 49 people in this room so far. 47 of these people are white, 1 is black, 1 is Asian. It's now 9:43 a.m. A clerk comes in and puts on an orientation DVD. The title is called A Call to Serve. The clerk walks away, and the DVD is stopped on the menu screen. The DVD menu has one button. Play. No way back. The jury pool is silent. Before she starts telling us about the case, which I can't talk about because I can't talk about. I don't know if, anyway, I'll get to, no, can't talk about it. Anyway, the TV has 3 remotes, just like Grandma's TV. One to control the TV, I'll bet it's one to turn the TV on and off, one to change a channel, and one to change the volume. I bet that's how it works out. So the DVD starts with a judge, and he's a young-looking one, telling the camera how important jury duty is. Now, Jerry, where's the ash truck guy, is looking at his crotch. He's on his phone. Jerry, you're not in school. You can openly use your phone. You don't have to hide your phone. All right, back to the DVD. Another judge comes on and says, jurors are better than us at ruling on cases. And I think, you bet I am. The DVD judges talk to us about the American history of the jury, and they say things like, only white males who own property are allowed to vote. And I start paying attention to legal terms. For cause means whining to the judge, I want to go home. Preemptory clauses or preemptory clauses is for when a lawyer thinks a juror is a bozo. Now the DVD moves on to interviews with previous jurors, and they're the on-the-fly interview style. And one of them says, you're not supposed to talk to the other members of the jury. And I wonder how much that rule is followed. When you're on the jury, don't seek information about the case or look things up. I'm a reporter, and you're telling me not to look things up. And then it says you must not research the people involved in the case. For my job, all I do is research. You must not blog or tweet anything about this case. I haven't violated that rule. But the narrator went heavy on the letters B and L in blog. You must not blog. She even turned it into a 2-syllable word. Blog. You must not blog about the case. Well, I'm not blogging. I'm just talking about everything else but the case. So all these DVD jurors can speak well and are comfortable in front of a camera lens. How much vetting was involved to find these people? So we're 20 minutes into this orientation DVD, and most of it is interviews with previous jurors talking like Superman. Good day, citizen. And they don't say USA. They all spell it out. The United States of America. Yeah, I was proud to serve the United States of America. Okay, we're at closing credits now. The background graphic as the text scroll up the screen looks like the wallpaper of Better Call Saul's office. All right, lights come on in the room, and it's time for our questionnaires. I love questionnaires. And this one's 40 pages long. Wow. 4 hours later. If there's humor in this case, I'm not a good enough writer to find it. They explain this case in cold detail. We're so fortunate. We know how to conduct ourselves in a manner befitting our evolution. Some people don't. Some humans are bestial. What keeps mankind alive? All I know is I'm to call this automated number on April 23rd to see if I am eliminated or if I am selected to move on to the next round. April 23rd, that's a week before we leave for the United Kingdom. I'm definitely going to bring that up. Yeah, I'm going to be out of the country in a week. Anyway. March 10th, 8:30 p.m. March 10th, 8:30 p.m. Beers with the kickboxing class. We're on to more humorous topics. This was good. Have a rousing kickboxing class with the gang, and then immediately imbibe alcohol. And I'm rolling. What? March 11th, 2017, 11:30 p.m., Wilmington, Delaware. I drove down to Wilmington to hang out with the old band. Well, not really a band, well, we could be. Corey, Tyler, and myself. Old college roommates. How long has it been? 3 years? 4 years? 5? We all had a house together. An apartment. Off-campus housing. No, it wasn't campus housing. This was just some apartment. But we were all together. Corey, Tyler, and myself. People I don't have to pretend to be normal around. Corey has a dog. It's a Corgi Jack Russell Terrier mix. Good dog. Dog's name is Leela. I spent a lot of this time in Wilmington, Delaware, petting a dog. Leela. She chews on a hard bone and licks everything. Leela. Good dog. March 14th, 7:19 p.m. Big snowstorm. I'm back home. Not as bad as the last 2 years, but heavy enough to keep me inside. I walked around town, helped shovel out neighbors' cars. Not many kids out. I expected more sledding, but maybe the snow is too deep right now. I was looking for a reminiscent moment. I saw a dad and a baseball-capped mom and a waddling, bundled-up daughter-toddler walking on the opposite sidewalk, the opposite side of the street. They're walking to a church parking lot to shovel out their car. Only Dad has a shovel. They're almost to the church parking lot, and Dad says, "Go back and get the other shovel." He says it to his wife. So baseball cap wife says nothing. She looks right at her husband, right in the eyes, and then she turns around and walks in the opposite direction. Their toddler starts to follow Mom back home. "Kaylee, come here. Come to Daddy," says the husband. Kaylee looks at Daddy for a beat and turns around and waddle walks after her mother. "Kaylee, come here." Kaylee stops and walks slowly toward her father. I'm watching this from the opposite side of the street, and Mom is halfway back down the block and is walking in whatever direction home is. "Oh, the other shovel's here," hollers Dad. "I found the other shovel. Come back." Mom slows to a stop and stands motionless for a 1 Mississippi. She turns around and walks back toward the church parking lot, her eyes forward, her lips tightly closed. How does anybody stay married? Why do people get married? What is it like to love someone so much you're not only willing to put up with their bullshit for the rest of your life, but you're also willing to be roommates forever and listen to their mouths? I should put that in my profile. Here's a limerick from Tom Waits. "All my friends are married, every Tom and Dick and Harry. Must be strong of you to go it alone." It's now sometime after 10 p.m. the same night. I like the sounds of snow plows on asphalt, that heavy steel sound scraping as the PennDOT trucks clear the roads. PennDOT stands for Pennsylvania Department of Transportation. Occasionally, I hear the brap of a four-wheeler. It's 27 degrees out there, and the wind makes it worse, and anybody riding a four-wheeler is wearing masks and layers. Snowmobiles scream high, their two-stroke engines getting out all of the restlessness of being cooped up all year. My living room radio is tuned to the jazz station. I rarely listen to anything else at home. It makes my apartment feel lively. Apartment feel lively. Apartment feel lively.